Two questions. First, the Fearless Fund, a venture capital firm that awards grants to Black women-owned businesses, had a federal appeals court suspend their grant program due to the claim that it discriminates against white business owners. The co-founder is calling on President Biden to take executive action to, quote, safeguard DEI initiatives and funding rights for marginalized groups. Similarly, the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights sent a letter to the president today asking for him to, given these collective, asking to promote, protect, and expand programs that lead to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Given these concerns, does the White House believe it is doing all it can to protect diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Yeah, so I'm going to be really mindful here. It's an ongoing litigation, so I don't want to speak to it directly, don't have any news to make, obviously, on any executive action. But this is kind of, in line to what I was just saying to Anita about how important for representation and how that matters. And the president always says diversity is one of our greatest strengths here in this country. It kind of really goes in line with many of the themes of today. And we talk about immigration, or we talk about keeping talent and strengthening our community. It's all in line. And so what I will say more broadly is under this administration, we're achieving the fastest creation of Black-owned business than we've seen in 25 years. I think it's about 18 million new applications in small business since this administration started. I think that's important. And to have an increase and an uptick in Black-owned business is, out of that 18 million, is actually pretty critical. The president also signed an executive order to advance diversity and accessibility within his first 6 months in office. This administration is going to keep providing economic mobility for all Americans, including obviously the talent and the talent that we see in Black communities, including women and women-owned businesses, and how they contribute to our economy. And so that's something that we take very seriously here in this administration. SBA takes very seriously, obviously, in the work that they have done. And diversity is certainly one of our greatest strengths, which is something that the president says over and over again.
Has the White House been in contact with the Fearless Fund at all?
It's, have we been in contact with the Fearless Fund? I don't have any calls or meetings to speak to, and we're just going to be super mindful, as I just stated at the top in answering your question. This is an ongoing litigation, so we want to be super careful here.
Sure. Given the president's actions on marijuana reform, does the White House have a response to Maryland Governor Wes Moore pardoning 175,000 marijuana convictions, which has been hailed as a major racial justice effort?
So we certainly welcome the news, and it builds on the president's work to reform how nations approaches marijuana. And the president has said, he called, for governors to do their part and to take action. So this is welcome, as I just stated. And in addition to rescheduling, the process to reschedule marijuana, the president has been clear that no one should be in jail just for possessing marijuana. And he has a record number of pardons for prior federal offenses of simple possession and use of marijuana. And he will continue to urge all governors to do the same. And so we see that in Maryland, we saw that in Massachusetts, we saw that in Oregon. And so he commends and welcomes certainly this news.